Hey guys, welcome back to Sockets and Sideburns. Quick video for us today, changing the rear side light on this Renault Scenic 3 2012. That's the one that's part of the boot, not the main light cluster here. As you can see, R1's blown. Now this bulb is really easy to change with no tight access, and you shouldn't need any tools either. It's the same process to change either one of these. Let's get straight into it. First thing we're going to do is pop the boot. Right, underneath the boot now, on the trim on the inside, you can see we've got this access panel here. So we need to remove this little panel. If you pull this tab here down a little bit, and then it should just pop off and hinge down and out. Put that somewhere safe. I usually just like to chuck them inside the boot. So now with this access panel removed, we've got one screw here. This is a thumb screw that you can undo by hand. However, if for some reason this was incredibly tight, which I can't envision any scenario in which it would be because it should have just been done up by hand, you can fit a T50 Torx in this recess to help undo it. So what we need to do now is remove this. And as I said, it should just be loose. This one's easy peasy. Lefty loosey to get this out. And be ready to catch it once it lets go, or you may find it wanders off all the way down here. So do not drop this inside the rear boot trim. Make sure you're holding on to it as you're winding it out. There we are. Again, put it somewhere safe. Inside the boot's a great choice. Right, now very slowly and gently, we're going to close the boot because this light unit is now completely loose. You may want to just support this on the top as you bring the boot down. Okay, now we can pull the light unit away from the boot. These can be a little bit stiff in here. This one's loose, and there's not a great deal of access to get your finger in the side here. If you find it still tight, what you can do, just repop the boot, and that gives you a great bit of room there to pull on the side. Once it's loose, close it back up again. Ours is obviously already loose there. So draw it out, pull these wires out as you come, just gently. You don't want to yank on the wires. And then you can see the bulb holder here at the back. Just make a note of which wire is on top, which color. In our case, that's blue. And then you're going to give the bulb holder here a quarter turn, about a quarter turn to the, you try one way, try the other. In this case, it's the left, and then the bulb holder is going to come free from the light. You can set the light itself, the lens, aside somewhere, and now we can change this bulb. And all that we're doing when we turn it, these two tabs are just disengaging from the actual carrier on the light itself. Right, now we can remove the bulb from the bulb holder. Hold the bulb holder, not the wires from the back, and then this bulb just simply pulls out like that. So these bulbs are W5W, that's what you're going to want to replace these. I'll leave a link to some in the description to the video. And do not handle these bulbs with your bare fingers. Oils, hand creams, things like that on your fingers can create hot spots on the glass, and that will cause the bulb to prematurely fail. Either wear gloves, as I am here, or use a piece of tissue to handle it. Now we just need to fit the bulb into the holder. It just pushes in. Doesn't matter which way round you get it. Find it nicely at the start and then just push it in. It should bottom out nicely. Now before we put everything back together, we'll give it a quick test by turning on the lights. Perfect. Now we'll refit the bulb holder to the lens. Remember in our case that the blue wire was the one that was on top, and we'll bring the holder in and get those tabs on the bulb holder itself to line up with the cutouts in the lens. Bring it in, give it a quarter turn to the right, and it will be pointing straight up like that when it's all the way in, straight up. And then just feed the wire carefully back into the aperture on the boot. Line up. There's some, you see the stud that we're going to be winding our plastic nut back onto, and a little peg there. Feed the wire in, line those up, and it should press nicely into the boot like that. We'll let the boot back up now. Just go slowly. Maybe hold on to that lens as you let it up, because that's still not secured, of course. Right, now we're going to refit our little plastic nut onto the metal stud that's helped locate that back into the boot here. As you can see, our wiring has come out. We just tuck that back up inside so that when we refit the cover, it's actually inside and doesn't get pinched. Right, support our light from the top, and then we'll run this back on righty-tighty, and it's just going to be going on hand tight. Perfect. Now we'll refit our access panel. Bring your 2 hinges into the slots here, push up, and at the top where the tab is, give it a click, and then just go on both sides just to make sure that's in all the way, nice and flush. Now we can close the boot back up. Just have a quick check for your alignment. Compare it to the other one. Nice even gaps. Perfect. Okay guys, that's this little job done. Now if this video has helped you out at all, please hit that like button for me. If you'd like to see more videos from the channel in the future, then don't forget to subscribe, and you can find me over on Instagram @SocketsAndSideburns. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next video.